Hello. So this is I Bring It Every Day with Kelly, and welcome in this afternoon. And we are going to talk to Mindfully Crocheted or Miss Mora. And just what I'd like to do is just to introduce people who have joined my channel, and just so that you guys can get to know them, and so that if you don't have her, you can check out and understand, what her channel is all about. Okay, but let me check the comments real quick because I think we have one. We have a comment.
Hey, Angel Renee.
We got Angel Renee. Yeah, we got Angel Renee.
Is it Shatika? Is that how you?
Shatika. Yes. Good. Welcome in. So that's awesome. How are you, Angel Renee, today? You can tell us in the chat. So let's see. Let's wait just a second. Let's see if we get a couple
Sure,
more people.
sure. Why don't you
Yep.
tell me about you? Did you go and look at some glass somewhere? You
I
posted.
did. Yeah, I was at this was an older video that I had, and there was so much nice stuff in there that I don't think people saw it. So I just clipped it out of the StreamYard. It was beautiful. It was like
Mhm.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, when I saw the depression glass, it made me think about my parents because my
Okay.
parents used to really like going antiquing,
Oh,
and so my dad would be the one. He was actually born during the depression. My mom was, well, I mean, I guess the depression went on for a while. Both of my parents were born during depression time,
okay.
and so like my dad was always like they liked the amber glass and they liked,
Oh,
and they would collect that
okay.
for the
Very
house
nice.
and stuff like
Yes.
that.
Well, I'm glad you saw the video. Well, I'm glad you saw the notification anyway.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the thing that I've been sort of doing. I do it when the weather's decent, but it's been so bad for the last month or so that haven't done a whole lot of it. But anyway, but welcome in. We have a few people that have popped in. Thank you all for coming. So we're going to talk to Maura at Mindfully Crocheted, and there's her. Anyway, it's going to say hi, and there's her link. Yep. So Maura's link is going to be dropping in the chat. So I'm just very very thankful for people that have joined my channel, and I just like to see if I can give you a little push if I can. So
Well, it's so
anyway,
nice actually to be a member of your channel. There's so many great channels to belong to here on YouTube, and
there
it's
are.
really been fun getting to know you
Yeah.
through your content and
Yes.
the other channels as well.
Yes.
So thank you for bringing me here today, and
Oh, no problem.
thanks to those that are here now, and then those that might be
Yes.
watching later.
Yes.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, it's definitely great. I'm really excited to have you here because you're one of the newer, at least new to me anyway, newer YouTubers. So I was wondering if you just want to share a little bit, about your channel, and you can do it as broad or as specific as you like. So number one, like what got you to YouTube? What made you become a content creator?
You know, I started um, watching YouTube to learn pretty much anything that I needed to learn how to do back
Mm-hmm.
in 2013. And I've always enjoyed doing crafts. My mom was a really crafty lady. We had a kiln at home and she made her own like ceramic dolls, and she did
Oh,
like painting by numbers. I mean,
oh,
she
she did all those things.
crocheted.
Wow.
She made like Christmas tree ornaments with styrofoam and beads. I mean, she did all kinds of crafts. She was just, I really liked that, because
Mm-hmm.
it helped me to learn a lot about crafts. But anyway, when my kids were younger and I was, involved with my daughter's Girl Scout
Mm-hmm.
troop, all the parents, have to get involved as a
Yes.
like kind of a co-leader in the Girl Scouts, and we were learning how to do like, well, it goes under many different names, but like boondoggle or Rex lace, plastic lacing.
Oh, okay.
There, there may be other names, but you make like lanyards or keychains, and you use
Yes.
like the super long plastic lacing.
Oh, yes. Is that what they call that? What do they call that again?
Well,
Do you
like
remember?
boondoggle or
Boondoggle.
plastic
Okay.
lacing or Rex lace is like a specific brand, I think, but
Okay.
gosh, maybe
Wow.
I'll like go grab a project out of a cupboard or something behind me.
Hmm.
But I should have had something nearby. But
Oh no, that's
anyway,
okay.
I
That's
wanted
okay.
to learn how to do like 3x3 or 4x4, and I wanted
Hmm.
to learn how to do different techniques. And I started, watching YouTube videos. And there was this one, pretty young girl, and she would just sit on her bed and show you how to make it. And
Yep.
I learned how to do that. And so, flash forward, like anytime I needed to learn how to do something, like when it came to crochet and I was, wanting to learn how to make hats or whatever, I just started watching YouTube videos.
Yep.
One of my mom's mottos was, if you could read, you could cook. And,
Okay.
it's
Yes.
in the internet age, I have translated that to, if you can watch YouTube, you can do just about anything.
About anything. Yes.
I mean, my
That's
husband
true.
and I, like if we need to do something in the car, like you need to know how to change oil on a particular model, then you could
Hmm.
just go onto YouTube and they tell you how to do it. And like we
Right.
drove a Honda Odyssey for many years when we had like three little kids all in car seats.
Okay.
And the backlight went out in the dashboard clock, and
Hmm.
it would drive me nuts because I would always look over there and then I couldn't see it because the light bulb went out. And we were able
Yes.
to find a video for our
Hmm.
specific model of van and the part number that you needed to replace that. And my husband went in there and did it. And then I had a working clock again. It's
That's
just,
impressive.
yeah. Hey, Don and Sanita and Nana
Yes.
Michelle. Thanks everybody for coming in and
Yep.
hearing my
Absolutely.
story. And so, anyway, like, then I sort of like narrowed down, like what I was watching became like more and more focused on crochet and everything,
Hmm.
and just kind of watching people. Now during the big C, when we're all
Yes.
quarantined at home, I
Hmm.
started like, I have another one of the mottos that I have is you can teach an old dog new tricks.
Okay.
And as I'm getting up there in age, and so during that time I learned how to keep a sourdough starter
Oh,
and
okay.
to
Wow.
do like fancy bread, like
Hmm.
decorative loaves, and learn how to score it, with the lame. And
Wow.
anyway, did that for a long time, and then I learned how to solve the Rubik's
Oh,
cube.
you did. Well.
Yeah, I've been something that I've been wanting to do since I was like 8 years old,
Yes.
and
Yes.
it only took until I was like 50 something,
Yeah. To figure it out.
51 or 52
Yeah.
or something. But
Well, that's good.
yeah. And so anyway, then, I don't know how it was, but like I think I was always watching like Krista from The Secret Yarnery. She
Oh,
was
yeah.
probably the first one that I ever saw going live on her channel.
Hmm.
And then from there, I don't know, how I somehow got to know that other people were going live and talking about crochet, and I'm like, what?
Hmm.
And so then I think really like toward the end of last year, I started
Hmm.
watching a lot of different channels during their lives, and I was like, like I wonder if I have something that I could share with
Hmm.
the crochet community or whatever. And so I was giving it some thought, and I had been getting a cup. I would actually, when I ordered my first full spectrum yarn monthly thing from Thriss, uh,
Okay.
I I can't remember. I sent her an email and I was like, and maybe when I get it, I'll do a video or something like that. And she's like,
Yes.
well, I hope that you do. And then
Yes.
she encouraged me, and then other people were encouraging, and so I just started making a couple little shorts here and there, and then trying to make other videos and sort of fiddle in
Okay.
with the cameras and the and all of that. And,
Yes. Yes. It's a full process. It's almost like we all should have gone to film school. That's what I always say.
right,
We did not go to film school, but we're doing
right,
really well. Most of us are
right.
doing okay, right? Oh, but I
I
was going to
am.
ask you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, no, you go. You go ahead. I
Oh
was
no,
just
I was
going to
just
ask
gonna
you
say
what
like
your. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
it's
You
like
go.
No, after you. No, after you. No, after you. Okay. um, like I saw, I was like, oh, I don't know that I could do it. I'm like a planner. I like to kind of
Hmm.
plan things out and have my list and
Yes.
check it off in order. And so back in March, when I was like, okay, do I want to do this? Do I want to make a video? Do I want to actually put it out there? I had to
Yes.
make sure that all my ducks were kind of lined up first. Like I went into Facebook and I created a Facebook page and a Facebook
Yep.
group, and I went into Instagram and made the Instagram. Well,
Hmm.
let me rephrase that. I had my daughter help me with Instagram
Okay.
because that's,
Okay.
I hardly ever use it, but anyway. And so
Yes.
I just wanted to have it like all set up because I thought, well, if I go ahead and do this channel, then I
Yes.
want to be as professional as possible. It's important to
Yes.
me that it looks like I thought about it. And
Hmm.
although everybody says just go live, just press record,
Okay.
you need to have a little bit of a plan. You need to have a little bit of a plan. So that's what I
Right.
tried to do. And March
Well,
is
I
when
just right. Well, what I was thinking is, did your mother knit or crochet? That's what because you mentioned your mother. She did.
yes,
Okay.
right, yeah. So crochet was one of the many crafts that she did do. She did
Hmm.
not knit that I'm aware of.
Yep.
I don't think I ever saw any knitting needles, but
Hmm.
she she would take those terry cloth dishcloths or whatever, or
Hmm.
kitchen towels, and
Yes.
they would have the same design on both sides, and she'd cut them in half, and then she'd crochet the little thing with the button, and then you could stick it
Yes. To
over the
hang up
handle.
on the stove.
Yeah,
Yep.
to hang up. And so then she would have like two, and sometimes she would use different colored yarns, and she
Okay.
made a lot
Okay.
of
So she
kitchen
did.
like
Yeah.
things. But
Okay. Yeah, I was just thinking that because I wanted to while it was in my brain because you'd mentioned your mom, but she it sounds like she did a lot of things. I mean, that's pretty
she
impressive.
did. She did.
Yes. Now, let's see. Now, so you
So
mentioned
hey,
that.
Zach and Temmie and Lydia and
Yes.
anybody else that may have come in while I
Hmm.
was jibber jabbering.
Yes. No, no, that's good. I'm glad you guys could come in, and I'm glad you guys are supporting Mara today. It's pretty cool. Okay. Now, how did you determine your channel name? You said you said I'm going to do it so I can sort of answer thrists in some of those crochet packages or kits that you were using. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really funny because I was coming up with, like, I had my list of names, like my top 3 or 5. I can't remember which,
Hmm.
like, because yeah, I was really thoughtful about like what I was going to call this, right?
Right.
And I sent it to my daughter, and I think I sent it to my best friend, and I was like, what do you think of these names? And got their input, and then it just sort of was like, that's the one that I was
Mhm.
favoring, but that my daughter and my friend liked as well.
Oh, okay, good. Now, how did you come to this mindfulness? Can you sort of elaborate on what that means to you?
You know, there are different, like, some people are spiritual, some people call it religious, some people say
Mhm.
my faith, or my, like my guide, my whatever. Like, spirituality can be called different things, but
Yes.
oftentimes it's just how we, like, what we're comfortable with, like
Yes.
what everybody's comfortable with. And
Hmm.
I do consider myself to be a person of faith,
Hmm.
and so for me, I know that not everybody is like the same, the spiritual or religious type of a person,
Right.
but I use that inner faith and that inner, like, I God, if you will, I view,
Hmm.
God, like, within me. And like I try to, like, be mindful, like, that's and I think that's, so mindfulness kind of falls in, it's like what
Hmm.
my personal beliefs and my personal guide is in life. For me,
Yes.
it's faith, but I try to just bring awareness to, like being aware of what's going on within ourselves. I know that was probably not
No,
like
no, it's
followed the most logical train of thought, but
no, it's
you
fine.
know,
It's fine. Yeah,
yeah,
just so people who, if they don't know you, so they understand,
sure, sure.
like
Well,
where
and
you're coming
anyway, like
from. Yep.
I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, which is not saying like a whole lot because I did work in mental health for a
Mm-hmm.
couple of years.
Okay.
And then after that, I went more into customer service
Mm-hmm.
and those types of jobs and working with the public and things like that. And so for me, mindfulness sort of incorporates that, mental health awareness and spirituality um,
Okay.
kind of combined together, and just sort of life experience that I've acquired over the
Mm-hmm.
years, and it's all just very important to me, and I'm hoping that I can share that
Right.
with other people.
Okay. See, that's good. Yeah, I just think people should know, need to know. So they understand sort of where you're coming from and what to expect, when they go to your channel. So that's great. So anyway, I appreciate you just elaborating on that a little bit. So now how was studying psychology? Did you like it? Did you love it? How did you feel about it after you got into the field, or when you studied and got into the field?
Oh yeah, initially when I was an undergraduate student, I went to Santa Clara University in California, which is where I grew up.
Mm-hmm.
I had a very idealistic view about how I was going to be able to change the world and change people's lives. And that
Yes.
once I was, like a doctor, that, because I was intending to go on and get like a PhD and become a
Mm-hmm.
clinical psychologist. And then during my senior year of
Mm-hmm.
college, you have to go out and kind of do an internship somewhere,
Yes.
and I worked at a 24-hour residential treatment center. And then
Oh.
after I graduated, I did apply to master's programs, and
Mm-hmm.
I I got into USF, which was the University of San Francisco,
Mm-hmm.
and then I also got like I got what they call like a conditional acceptance to
Mm-hmm.
Seattle University. And they Seattle University's program required that you work for a year. And
Oh.
so also, since I just didn't have the money to go right into a
Yes.
master's program, I thought, okay, well, I'll work for a year, and and then I'll either do the USF thing or I'll
Mm-hmm.
do Seattle University. And so I was working at a 24-hour residential treatment center in downtown
Mm-hmm.
San Jose, and
Okay.
I worked the late night shift. We called it the nocturnal shift
Oh, I see. Okay.
because it
Yes.
was, we called it the knock shift for short, but
Mm-hmm.
and it was 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
we couldn't say like the graveyard shift because that
Oh, okay.
that could be
Yes.
triggering for
Yes.
people in the program. And so anyway, I worked in that program, and what I saw was in leading groups and um, working with people is that,
Mm-hmm.
so the people in our program were transitioning from hospitalization to
Mm-hmm.
independent living.
Yes.
And um, and they would go into the hospital because they had, we called it, like a 5150, which is a 72-hour hold for evaluation.
Okay.
And
Mm-hmm.
then it's because they were like, a danger to themselves or others
Yes.
is what
Okay.
they called it. And so they would go in, and then they would probably get on medication. They would stay in the hospital for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and then before they were ready, they needed to continue to get their housing and their lives, their finances, and everything stabilized before they could
Mm-hmm.
go to independent living, and they would come in.
Yep.
So the hospital would get them stable on their medications.
Right.
They would come in, and that was regulated there, the medications and
Mm-hmm.
such. And then once they left, then they're like, well, I'm all better. And they would stop taking their medicine over time. I mean, it wasn't like within
Hmm.
days or whatever, but a few months later, I would be seeing the same people come back through. It was like revolving door,
Yes.
they were better, right? And so they would stop taking their medicine, they would decompensate, and then they would get put back on another 5150.
Hmm.
So anyway, I got a little bit disillusioned, and I was like, gosh, we've got to get to people, before, like, we've got to get to them when they're kids, and we have, like.
Yes.
And so
Hmm.
I decided not to go back to graduate school. And then after like a couple of years doing that, and I met my husband, and I just got like into a different career field, and that
Yes.
just kind of went down the path later.
Yep. Oh, that's good. All right. Well, that's good to know. Yeah. See, that kind of helps me, get a feel for,
Yeah, right.
the,
But
the
yeah, so
twists and
that's like it's
turns.
mental health, and that is still like, so very important to me that I knew it had to at least be, part of that mindfulness, is that through crochet or fiber arts or just some kind of crafting, whatever your thing may be, that
Hmm.
you can find mindfulness, and that it can help you when you might need it.
Yes. I'm going to show you what Nana Michelle said earlier.
Hey
Uh,
Angela, and hey
yeah. Hey, Angela.
Judy, hey girl, hey.
Hey, girl. Hey. So Nana Michelle said, mindfully crochet, the term makes me feel like zen like, and I love it. So that's pretty
Yeah,
cool. In
yeah,
a
I
couple of
know,
years,
and I'm
yeah.
not like some some big yogi or whatever. I have done yoga, but like, if somebody threw out a random yoga pose, I wouldn't necessarily know it. But the
Yes.
mindfulness practices that you can get through yoga, um,
Hmm.
I agree that that kind of zen feeling, that relaxation, the de-stress, anxiety reduction, all of it, it just is all tied together. And so yes, I agree with you. Thank you.
No, no, that's beautiful, and it's funny now that you mentioned the mental health. So I'll share with the people in the audience what I asked you behind the scenes, and and what I did was I was just checking in with Maura just to say, how's it going? How are you feeling? I hope you're getting your rest, that kind of thing. So that because YouTube can be very challenging, when you're trying to get your channel going and when you're trying to get monetized. And hello, Aisha, thanks for coming in.
Hey.
So I just said to her, I said, "Is everything going? And I hope you're getting your rest." And I told her, not that I was concerned, but I just said, make sure you're resting because I feel like I see her 24 hours a day, even though I don't see you, but I see you a lot. I see you a lot.
Yeah, you guys
So
are my people.
yeah. Yes, I mean, it's funny because because I'm on YouTube a lot. I will be honest, See, and so my husband's even says to me like, "Get off YouTube." Like, you have to take a break, take a break, take a break.
Right,
So I'm just kind of saying to everybody, just take a break and relax. And I just want to make sure she's okay before she
right,
came on. Yeah, and
right.
so that's it. So that's my little, rant for today. But anyway, go ahead and tell me what you're going to say, Maura.
I have no
Me,
idea.
well, no, just about so anyway, but you were just saying that you weren't feeling well, I guess a few days
Oh,
back.
right, right. Well, yes,
Yeah.
last week, a week ago yesterday,
Yeah.
I um, I had was like not feeling well after being out a little bit in the heat. Now
Yeah.
I wasn't out in 100-degree heat or anything. The temperature
Mhm.
was in the anywhere from the upper 70s into the upper 80s. We were
Mhm.
when
Yeah.
I was actually out. But I found that over the course of a few days of being out in moderately warmer temperatures,
Mhm.
somewhat warm temperatures, and then maybe not
Yes.
having enough fluids,
Yeah.
um, I think I was experiencing, like a heat related illness.
Yeah. Yes.
And because of my family history with like heart disease and heart attacks, and
Mhm.
I was very concerned. Like, my heart was racing, and I was agitated, and I was, having some intestinal distress, and
Mm-hmm.
I was fatigued and overstimulated by light and sound. And so like I had, concern that I could be having a heart attack or a stroke or heat stroke or
Yep. Yep.
anxiety or some kind of combination of any of those.
Yeah.
And so I did go to the emergency room and, got some IV fluids, and they did lots of tests. They did blood work as well
Mm-hmm.
as like an EKG, and they were checking me for signs of stroke, and everything was fine. I was totally
Mm-hmm. That's good.
they couldn't find anything wrong with me other than
That's
like
great.
maybe I had a virus or maybe I was dehydrated, or they were even thinking like gallbladder or appendicitis, or
Wow.
just any myriad of things.
Yes.
But
Yeah. So yeah.
yeah.
So I'm glad that yes, because I wasn't aware that that happened. So I went you know,
Yeah,
yeah,
right. And
yeah,
so, yeah,
behind the
part of
scenes.
being mindful, and I mean, hey, like I can be guilty of like not paying attention to signs, like not
Yes.
not knowing like when your body is telling you something that maybe you
Mm-hmm.
need to take a break. And so I don't think I like, oftentimes I thought about heat related illness as something
Mm-hmm.
that it was like you were out on one particular day and you
Yep.
overdid it and you did, but I think it was something that just kind of built up
Mm-hmm.
over several days, like several days of not drinking enough water, not,
Right.
and going out in the heat, and it just culminated in one day where I just did not, I just couldn't even really lift my hand off the bed. And so, yeah, you just have to pay attention to the sign and say,
Yep.
and be willing to say, I should go get checked out,
Right.
and
And
not
so
just
that's
dismiss
the
it.
yes. So that's the message I'd like us all to kind of hear and
Yeah,
heed
yeah.
and think about it, if it ever comes down to that.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
don't be embarrassed to call
yes.
911. I mean, if you are legitimately feeling bad, right? Or
Yes.
don't be embarrassed to like go get checked out at the emergency room, or be like
Mhm.
dismissive, like no, it's okay, and I don't want to be a bother type of a thing. It's like it's better to be safe than sorry, basically.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, and Temmie's saying heat stroke, sunstroke, perhaps. Yeah, and that happens. In fact, I years ago I ran it. We have a trail by our house in a big park, and this poor man had heat stroke, and he was just he was a textbook heat stroke person, and the guy that he was with, they were hiking this trail, and it was one of those days where it was 100 degrees, and they were kind of like laughing, and I was like, this is not funny. Like something terrible could happen to you. I was like, do you want me to call the ambulance? And they're like, no, just tell us how to get out of here. And I'm like, oh my word.
Oh
So I like,
God.
so I gave them a ride, but I was just like, what are you doing? But anyway, but it's things like that.
Right,
Like you have to be
right.
really careful. Yeah, to be
Yeah,
really, really careful.
you
So
do. Oh, and something I didn't even mention is that
yes,
um, I'm actually a Red Cross instructor, so I
okay,
teach CPR, first aid, AED, and yeah, and so when you see those signs, and for women, something to
yes,
be aware of is that women signs of a heart attack are different, can be different than the typical signs of a heart attack for men, and
mm-hmm,
so like the intestinal stuff, the feeling tired, the
mm-hmm,
fatigue, the like flu-like symptoms and things like
yes,
that uh,
yep,
are more the types of, or like backache, like your back is really
backache,
bothering you or
yes,
something. I mean,
yep,
and that could be sign of an impending heart attack, and you don't want to ignore that. And
mm-hmm,
I think
yep,
having my training in as an instructor, well, and even just if you have your CPR and first aid certification, I highly recommend
mm-hmm.
that because you can save a life.
Yeah, that's amazing. That is amazing. Yeah, so good message. I was kind of like I was saying, oh yeah, this all fits really really well.
Right.
So now when did you start your channel? I think you might have talked about this yesterday, but how long have you
Um, I
been
think
on YouTube
I think
officially?
the first, like short video that I did like a short,
Hmm.
was in March.
Okay.
right, is like the middle of March, give or take,
Give or
that
take.
time frame. And
Hmm.
and then like over spring break, I think is when I made like my first video that was longer than a short. You know, I did a few
Hmm.
shorts, and then I finally started putting out some little bit longer videos.
Right. Now, so you said you're on Instagram. Now, you said, do you post a whole lot on Instagram, or you
You
don't?
know, it's really more dependent on my daughter's schedule. It's not that I can't figure it out.
Yeah.
It's just that she's so much better at it than me, and so
Oh, okay.
I
No, no,
like
that's fine.
she is my social media coordinator.
That is a helpful thing to have. The big channels do that. They have people that do that for them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not a bad thing. But I was going to ask you, speaking of your family, now, can you sort of elaborated what your daughter does? I mean, are you like, what kind of support are you receiving from the rest of your family? Or like, what do they think about this YouTube
Oh
channel?
gosh. Well, um, you know, I have college age kids, and I have boy girl twins, and they are 21, going to be 22 in November, and they both go to the same college down at the University of Oregon, and then I have a younger son who is, you know, just turned 19 in June,
Mm-hmm.
and he is also a college student, but he is doing like the community college for
Mm-hmm.
from and staying home, which is really great because, you know, I like having him home. Would love to have all my kids home. If you're watching, kids, I'd love to have
Yes.
all of you home. But I'm just saying, it's nice that we're not complete empty nesters yet, and they
Yes.
had an opportunity to come home during the weekends. And
Yes.
you know, my daughter is incredibly supportive, because
Right.
I would say, you know, she's the one who, like, other than Samuel, Isabel like contacts me and reaches, you know,
Mm-hmm.
she's like, we're checking in and just kind of
Yes.
talking about things. And so she's been, I mean, and then my son, he is like, he has a drone, um,
Mm-hmm.
and he does a lot of filming, kind of using
Oh,
his drone, and
that's
you know, so
pretty
he
cool.
wants to go into like marketing and advertising,
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice.
well, more like advertising and film or what.
Yes.
I don't.
No,
Sorry,
that's nice.
sorry,
Yes.
Ryan. If you're watching, you're gonna have to come on and give me a little bit more clarification. But
That's funny.
anyway, when I try to get my kids to like help me with something technical or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, they're usually pretty good about it. And my
Okay.
husband, like, it's not really his thing per se, but
Mm-hmm.
he's just now, I think, finally starting to like go, oh, you're doing this, like you're doing this, and like, how can you make money at it? Like, how can you?
So he's getting interested. That's
Well,
good.
right, yeah, like, what does it take to, or this is what it will probably take if you're gonna,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Awesome.
make some money
That,
about it. But like,
no, no,
he's
that's
not really
cool.
interested in crochet, and I cannot blame him, at all. He's an
Yes.
engineer. He loves
Okay.
planes, you know. So anyway,
No, that's really good. So
more
you've been
interested in
you've been married a while. So you've got a 20, let me say 21-year-old twins, 19-year-old younger. Is
that.
that
Right?
right?
Yes, and we've been married for 26 years.
26 years. Okay, everybody.
Right. Thanks. It can be done.
Yeah, that's
Right.
a pretty good amount of time. Now where did you meet? Did you meet in school or did you know him before?
Yes, technically we did. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'll give you the Mr. and Mrs. MC
MC.
story. You know, the funny thing is like my initials are MC, my husband's
Mhm.
initials are MC, and my channel initials are MC. So that's it works out. Um,
That's really nice.
right. So Mr. and Mrs. MC. Um, I was an undergrad at Santa Clara when he was a graduate student there,
Mhm.
and both of us were involved in like the campus, like, ministry kind of thing. You
Mhm.
know, so
Mhm.
we were both servers at mass and
Oh, okay.
at church, and Well, I mean, we met there, but I don't
Mhm.
really remember it.
Okay. Yeah,
He
you were
says he
busy.
remembers it, right? But
Yeah.
I didn't remember it. And then later on, after I graduated, then I was going to another church
Hmm.
in San Jose, and I was participating in the young adult group. And after like a year or so of participating in the young adult group, I started to lead that young adult group,
Hmm.
and and I met. That's where I really met him, was at church and at that young adult group, and we went and saw a movie and started dating after that. And yeah,
Okay. See, that's something that you and I have in common.
I think, you know what, honestly, I
Yeah.
think church,
Yep.
I'm just saying, for anybody who does
Yeah.
church, I think church
Yes.
is a really great place to meet somebody,
Hmm.
because you know that you already have like a shared faith, or
Yeah.
you have something in common right there. And having
True.
that strong, like a faith foundation, or something where
Hmm.
you're meeting out in an activity that you already like, having something in common, I think, is a really good
No, it's a
place to
beautiful
start.
thing. Beautiful thing. Well, now, so tell me this. So these are like real simple questions. So I asked the hard ones already.
Oh,
Now,
no, no, and in fact, before you
yeah,
ask the next question, you were
sure.
starting to say, "Did you meet your husband at church, or how did you meet your husband?"
Oh, I did. Yeah, we did. So it was kind of, it's a weird story, and uh, let's just say we were on dates with other people.
Oh, okay. Oh, oopsie.
One of those. But anyway, no, it wasn't that bad. But we were friends for a little while, and but that's where we met. We met in church. That's why I thought that was really funny. Like when I tell people that, they kind of go like, I usually get the dog, the German Shepherd. Really? But that wasn't why I was there. That's not what I was looking for.
Hola,
But
Maritza, and hello, Ashley.
Ashley.
I
Yeah,
don't know if I
welcome
missed
in
anybody
everybody.
else,
Once
but I
again.
just saw their names go by.
Oh, no, no, I appreciate it. That's good. Yeah, welcome in everybody. Thanks for coming. So we know we're spotlighting mindfully crochet, Miss Mora today. And actually, if you guys have a question for her, you can drop it in the chat. Yeah.
I'm mostly an open book. Yeah.
She's pretty good. Yeah, you're good. You're good. But anyway, so what is your? I've seen some of the things that you've made, but just let everybody know, for people who don't know, like what are your favorite items to make in crochet?
I like my actual favorite item that I like to make, and I've made, like, I don't know, 20 of them, is the divine
Hmm.
hat.
Oh, okay.
Do you know? Are you familiar with the divine pattern?
I let me just tell me. I might, but I don't.
It's
Maybe I
it's
don't
a
know it
free
by that name.
Ravelry download,
Hmm.
and it's like a front post double crochet, followed
Hmm.
by well, you used to do one, and then you do two and three and four, just regular double crochets in the
Okay.
next space after, and it creates kind of a swirled look.
Oh, I've seen that. Yes.
I
Yes.
really wish I had one handy. I mean, I
Yeah.
have like 10. It's like
Oh, that's
the
okay.
nearest one. I mean, I don't know where it is. Probably
Yes.
with the boondoggle in the.
Yeah.
but
Oh, okay. No,
but
no, that's
anyway,
cool. The
yeah,
divine.
I
Okay,
do
that's what
like,
it's called.
yeah,
Okay,
I do
got it.
like making hats, but I started out like making a lot of doilies. I like
Okay.
I like doing lace. I like working with thread. I've made doilies that you actually use for decoration on
Mm-hmm.
your dressers or your tables, and then I've also used like a larger size thread, and made like a tablecloth, out of a big
Oh, you've
round.
made one of those?
Yeah,
Wow, that's
I've made
impressive.
them, so like, instead of using size 10 thread, you use like
Mm-hmm.
size 4, you know, cone, like white
Cone?
cone
Yes.
cotton, and yeah, and they come out to be like
Yeah.
nice
Yeah. Yeah, I
big.
think I think she just answered that question, but I want to make sure. And then Temmie was like divine what? So the divine hat. Yes, I didn't know that's what the name of that was, but I've
Yeah,
seen that
I
around.
mean, I
Yes.
could probably find it on Ravelry real quick, and
Mm-hmm.
if you wanted. But
Oh
anyway,
no, it's yeah,
or
sure,
someone, yeah,
whatever.
feel free to look it up. But it's just, yeah, Divine, and it's a
Mm-hmm.
free pattern. And Llama Mama Kayla.
Yes.
Also, it was interesting one time, just like over the winter time frame, she was
Mm-hmm.
wearing, or maybe it was even during breast cancer, like in October time frame, she was
Yes.
wearing her pink. It was like a baby pink colored divine hat, and she wore it like every day. Like
Oh, during October. That's cool. Yes. Angel Renee saying Fiber Spider does a video tutorial on it too. Oh, good.
oh, on that particular, oh,
Yeah, yeah. See,
I have
I've
it
seen a
memorized.
million of his. Yeah, I just I haven't been on there. I'm so slow. Like that's the problem. But anyway, it's not about.
Yeah, yeah. I Because I have made that hat so many times, I don't even have to look at the pattern anymore. It's probably the only, pattern that I have
Mhm.
specifically memorized. But
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
yeah,
And
in
now,
addition
yeah.
to that, this year I decided I wanted to start learning how to make more garments, like instead
Mm-hmm.
of just not just, but like hats and scarves and blankets and those types of things. I wanted to make
Yes.
some tops, and like that is my fishnet top back there that I
Mm-hmm.
made for myself. And I made a few of the shorter sleeved boleroed ones that
Yes.
they're long sleeves. So I've got like this baby pink one and another red
Okay.
one over here. And
Nice.
so this year I started branching out just like a little bit more, making
Mm-hmm.
amigurumi and trying to make tops.
Oh yeah.
And
Do you have Mr. Frenchy?
oh, yep, yep, got my little
Just show Frenchy. If people haven't seen him.
Friday finishers mascot.
Yep.
And yeah, it's really cute. I
Oh, let me make you big.
Oh yeah, sure. I know that a lot of people
I
like
always
these little
forget,
guys.
so you can get a better look.
Yeah.
There it is.
So, yep, I named him Frenchy, um, for the French fries, and I used cotton.
Yes.
That's something else that I can talk about. Is just I like to use natural fibers, but
Yes.
anyway, yeah, and it was from a pattern by Knot Monster,
Mm.
and I've got a whole booklet of like 25 different patterns on
Yes.
Etsy.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay. That's very cute. Yeah, I like that type of amigurumi like calls me. Yeah, I love it. I love it. So talk about the natural fibers since you brought that up
Yeah,
because I was
right.
I was going
Well,
to ask you about your yarn types you're into
yeah,
if there's
exactly.
any. Mm-hmm.
I do prefer when possible, and I'm not saying I don't have acrylic or
Mm-hmm.
polyester type yarn or nylon or polyester yarns or whatever, but I do like to use cotton or wool or animal fiber over the synthetic fibers, and
Yes.
for sustainability
Mm-hmm.
reasons, for the most part,
Mm-hmm.
I do, feel like whenever we can, if we can use
Mm-hmm.
what we have,
Yes.
recycle what we, have, and like reduce the amount that we're wasting
Yes.
or the things that are going into, sorry, I was just getting a phone call.
Oh, that
I
happens.
didn't put my phone in do not disturb mode.
Oh,
Um,
sure, that's fine.
but yeah, for sustainability, for
Mm-hmm.
to try to use eco-friendly yarns whenever I can, and then again to use what I do
Mm-hmm.
have here at home.
Yes.
Like if I have it, to try to use it.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
But I
Yep.
think, like many of us, I do like to buy yarn.
Really? Oh, tell us about the yarn festival you just came back from a couple weeks back.
So yeah, um, through through getting involved in some people's channels, I met Carrie the Yarny Elephant, and she has a Zoom group where people go in and we hang out and we chit chat and we crochet and we become, really good friends.
Mm-hmm.
And um, they were actually going to Fiber Fusion. So, like, when I kind of
Oh,
joined into the Zoom group back in April or May or whatever, they were already planning to go to Fiber Fusion, which was up in the Seattle area at the beginning of June.
yes.
And And I was like, well, Seattle, I don't live that far from there. That's like 3 hours
Right.
from me. I'm
Yes.
in, And so we did that first. And then we found out that there was another one taking place at the end of June called
Mhm.
the Black Sheep Gathering. And that
Mm.
was in Albany, Oregon,
Yep.
and that was only about like an
Hmm.
hour from me, little over an
Yes.
hour drive, and so my daughter was home that during that week, and so
Yes.
we drove down and met up with Carrie and Jason, and
Hmm.
we did a live from there,
Hmm.
um, and now we're actually planning for October, the middle of October. There's another fiber festival called the Oregon Flock and Fiber Festival, and it's at that same location in Albany, Oregon. And there's another group of us that
Hmm.
we're going to be meeting up and going
Yes.
to that one as well. But
Oh, that's
um,
good. All right.
yeah,
Well, thanks for coming, Tammy. And she's saying, Kelly
she's
and
got to
Maury,
go.
take care. Be safe. God blessing. God
Thanks
bless.
so much for
Hugs.
being here.
Yes. Good to see you. Okay, cool. So, what did you now? You don't have to tell us what you bought, but what did you see there? Like, what did they have available at
Oh
the
gosh.
festival?
So they had raw fiber. They
Hmm.
had animals there that were being sheared, and so there's even like a competition, where almost like a state fair situation where animals, like they competed in different for like I don't know awards.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I can't have those kind of animals on my in my homeowners association,
Yes.
but yeah. But
Yes.
anyway, and so they had like a whole what's the word, like not a barn, but they had a whole warehouse type of room that was set up for
Hmm. For like sheep shearing, like
yeah,
spinning. Did they
yeah.
spin in
And so
there
they
too, or
had
did they? Yeah.
alpaca there, and
Okay.
they did have, they were having like they had classes that are available that you can take related
Hmm.
to probably spinning or carding, how you
Hmm.
clean your fleece after you get your fleece and things like that, and
Hmm.
spinning stuff, and so that whole fiber side of it with the animals is there.
Hmm.
And then they have, like a very big um, why are the words are just
Like a
failing me right now.
vendor fair, maybe.
Yes, vendors
Yes.
in, yeah, the vendor
Okay.
fair.
Right.
And so there were vendors that had all kinds of stuff, from
Hmm.
items that were already made, knitted or
Yes.
crocheted. You could get kits to make particular knitted or crochet projects,
Hmm.
felted types of items. There were ceramic items there, including like your yarn bowls and different things like that.
Okay.
Jewelry, lots of jewelry and stones and accessories, of course, yarn, lots of yarn as
Of
well.
course. Of
And
course.
yeah, gosh, I'm
No,
sure
that's good.
there was
Yes.
soaps and
Yes.
lotions,
Okay.
crochet hooks,
Mm.
accessories, stitch markers,
So
earrings,
everything
all
sounds
that.
like.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's a very big, like you could go and you could shop for yourself or you could buy gifts for other people. And
Mm.
oh, there was even like hazelnuts there.
Mm.
There's this, they have um, a farm, and we got to meet the lady who she and her friends had, like they started the Oregon Flock and Fiber Festival. And
Hmm.
so she decided after a few years of running the festival that she wanted to be a vendor herself.
Okay.
So she and her husband grow walnuts, and then they also have animals, and so they sold fiber there at their booth. So it was like hazelnuts and fiber.
And fiber. That's good.
Yes.
Now, were you there the full, like, was it multiple days or was it just one day that you were there?
They do, I think it is a 2-day thing.
Hmm.
I'm not sure. I can't remember, but we did only go for one day.
Hmm. And that's good. Now,
Yes.
was that your first festival? That's a question.
No, no.
You've been
I've been
before.
to the Oregon Flock and Fiber Festival like 3 years before,
Hmm.
and then the Fiber Fusion up in Seattle, and then the the Black Sheep Gathering basically was like my fifth festival.
So you've been to a few. So you've been to way more than I have. I've only been to about one or two. No, maybe three. Three over a
And
very long.
I've done a yarn crawl as well. In Portland, they have the Rose City Yarn Crawl, and a couple years ago, actually, the what are they called? Like the Crochet Guild of America,
Mm-hmm.
COA, they do like a convention, and they came to Portland. Um, I don't know, 2016, 2017,
Mm-hmm.
20. I mean, I don't remember exactly when it was, but the Crochet Guilds Festival was in um, Portland, and I went to that as well. I like, hey, when I can get involved in those types of things.
No, that's really good. So Isalla's son lives in Portland,
Oh, okay.
St. John's area. She's saying. Oh, let me put that on the screen. So she wanted to know where was that one fiber festival again? Because I can't remember the
Well,
well the one that you
the
yes, the
most
Black Sheep.
recent one I went to is a Black Sheep Gathering is in
Mm,
Albany, Oregon.
Albany.
And
Okay.
so that is about an hour and 15 minutes or so south of Portland. So,
Okay.
and yeah, it's
Yep, that was on the
south
question.
of Salem. Salem is the capital of Oregon, and it is
Mm-hmm.
south of Salem, but north of Eugene. So
Eugene, Oregon. I know that.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Well, a lot of
Okay.
people are familiar with Portland
Mm-hmm.
and Eugene. Those are like, you know. Well, and also a lot of people know about Ashland, Oregon, because there's a big Shakespeare festival
Okay.
down in Southern Oregon.
Nice. Now, do you have any other hobbies outside of YouTube? That you want to share with anybody?
Um, yeah, I'm kind of a Pokemon nerd, if you will.
Oh, okay.
So I
Cool.
do like to play Pokemon Go,
Mm-hmm.
and my kids actually got me into playing Pokemon Go because
Mm-hmm.
in 2016 when that game first started,
Yes.
I had to they were at the age where I'm like, you're not just going to go and play some game. I need to know what this game is, right?
Right.
And so they got me to go out and walk around and collect Pokemon with them, and so I started playing it then, and then all of us kind of stopped playing it. And
Mm-hmm.
then one time I was visiting with my niece who lives in Arizona, and she and her two sons liked to play. She played with her sons. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"What? You play Pokemon Go?" And so then I kind of got back into playing, and then I've
Yes.
just been playing pretty much fairly regularly. I go through, like where I like to play it a lot, and then where I only play it
Yes.
like one time a day, just like to catch one Pokemon and spin one Pokestop or whatever. But yeah, and that's kind of where I am right now because I'm spending so much time, as you guys know, with YouTube that I
Mm-hmm.
don't really get to play a lot of those games. But I do like Pokemon,
Yep.
and outside of the YouTube world, I work at a school and I do tutoring. I'm a dyslexia tutor, and so I work at an elementary school with kids on their reading and their math, and then after school hours, I do tutoring a couple days a week and
Mm-hmm.
in reading, and
That's
I like
cool.
I like to watch other things, when I'm not down the YouTube rabbit hole.
Yes. 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 No, that's awesome. So the last question that I have, at least for me, that's just I'm curious. So, what's your next goal? And if you need any help, like what are you looking to do next?
Yeah, I mean, I
Yep.
think once I never really thought like I would ever get to a point where I could be monetized because of
Mm-hmm.
the monetization being, at 1,000 subscribers or whatever. And in fact, I had thought it was like 1,500. I'm like, I will never get 1,500 subscribers, and there's so many people doing YouTube. It's like are in the crochet space or or fiber art
Mm-hmm.
space, like
Mm-hmm.
how would I ever get 4,000 watch hours? And then when they lowered it to be, 500 subscribers, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
well, I might be able to get that many.
Mm-hmm.
So sure, I think getting that fan funding level of monetization would be exciting. Um, just for that validation, for that sense of accomplishment. Because
Absolutely.
usually, if I think we all don't like. I think we all have our own goals as far as in our lives, what we want to accomplish, what we want,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like if we have kids, for that legacy of our kids, it's like, or
Yeah.
you know, so for me it's kind of like, especially seeing a lot of people struggling with their health and everything, it's like, if I have these videos, then my kids will be able to see them, like,
Mm-hmm.
for as long as like YouTube exists, or as long as this
That's right.
space is here, and it's something lasting, like maybe my grandchildren or my great grandchildren who won't like necessarily know me, they can look back and have this video diary of some of the things that I did or that I accomplished, and that would be really exciting. Oh my gosh, like that just made me even
Oh,
I
I
was like,
know.
oh, like that just made
Yes.
my heart swell. I was like,
It's
oh,
amazing. Yes.
like I
Yes.
didn't even like finish that thought ever before. But sure, but like that sense of validation and
Mm-hmm.
accomplishment
Yes.
would be really great if I could get to 500 subscribers. I'm like at 360 ish,
Mm-hmm.
um, and so I got a ways to go. But like I I have like maybe, if I'm lucky, 200 hours. So like I don't think that's going to happen for a long time unless I start staying up all night and doing 8-hour lives or something.
It
But
takes a minute.
it does, right? But maybe
But that's okay. I mean, that's okay. You have to do it in your own time, and
well,
that's
sure.
yeah.
Yes, exactly. So whenever it happens, it happens, and yeah, it would be a nice goal to achieve, and I
Yes.
will definitely celebrate when I do. And I think, but mostly it's utilizing this format as also a way of accomplishing those little goals that I just made for my own self. It's like I have to hold myself accountable to finish things like the sweaters or
Yes.
the amigurumi projects. It's like if I show that it's a work in progress, then I mean I
Hmm.
can't, like I need to finish it now. And
That's good.
so that's another thing, is like by putting myself out there and sharing what I'm doing, then I've got potentially 350 people who are going to be like, well, did you ever finish that French
Yes.
fry amigurumi or whatever?
And the answer will be
And it'll be,
there.
yeah,
It is,
I sure
Mr.
did.
Frenchy. No, he's adorable. Now, do you have any pets?
I do. I
Your
have
your
lots of
baby?
also. Yeah.
Yes.
There's a few shorts on my channel with her, and in fact, I was going to put up another short for
Mm-hmm.
that I took of her this morning, and so I got to create a short for that this afternoon, and so, oh hey Michi, just saw that Michi's
Yep.
name on there. Happy Sunday.
Yep.
Uh, yeah. So anyway, her name is Sunny, and she's a really cute little Lhasa Apso. She's 9 years old. That is our only pet. My
Mm-hmm.
husband is and my daughter are allergic to cats, so we can't
Okay.
have cats here. And when the kids were younger, we had goldfish, and
Mm-hmm.
we had African dwarf frogs. I think that's what
Oh.
they African dwarf frog. They were like water frogs.
Mm-hmm.
We had a couple of those, and
Wow.
but that's about it. No other pets.
Very cute. Very cute. So, anything else that you want to share that I haven't asked you?
Oh gosh, probably not. I don't know. I mean, if
Okay.
people have questions, I am happy to answer any other
Yes.
questions. But that's quite
Yeah.
a bit about me so
Yeah,
far.
we did learn a lot, so I appreciate you sharing today, and I appreciate everybody coming in. Excuse me. So if you want to drop your links, everybody, just type Kelly in the chat, Kelli, and Nightbot's working, sort of. It's quietly working. I slowed down my Nightbot just so that the focus could be on you right now. But I just want to just say, just in closing, or not in closing, but just thank you so much, Maura, for joining my membership, and like I said,
Thank
it's
you.
I just want to help out the smaller channels. I'm kind of reaching back because being on YouTube, you really can't do it alone. It's like a village.
Uh
Just
huh.
like raising
It's
kids.
the truth. It's the
You
truth.
really do, yes, and you support each other. So it's really good. And it's good that you were able to find a nice group of people to
Yeah.
support you. You know what I mean?
Right. I
Yep.
heard a really interesting. Well, in church today, the priest
Yes.
was talking about the tiny mustard seed,
Oh, okay.
okay, and
Hmm.
how it grows into the largest plant and everything.
Hmm.
And so, like for people out there who are, considering starting a channel or whatever, it's like just think of yourself like the tiny mustard seed, and you just have
Hmm.
to plant it. You have to plant that seed,
Yes.
and then it can grow, right? And
Yes.
then another thing that he mentioned in church is that like we're many parts, but we are all one. And so something that
Hmm.
I like to think about is that, and you know, like we're all part of like the Yarny community in some way,
Yes.
in this little corner of
Hmm.
YouTube, and that to like individually
Hmm.
we're not as strong as we can be all together, and
That's right.
just like the power of the little
Hmm.
tiny mustard seed, right? Like we can.
Yes. That's perfect. Oh, and also talk about your shows. I want to make sure the ones that you're
Yeah.
involved in. Yep, on your channel.
Sorry, I was buffering, so I don't know if you heard what I said, but you can let me know.
No, I did. No, I heard it.
Okay, good.
That was good. No, I just realized I forgot to ask you just to let everybody know if they don't already know. The usual YouTube shows that you do on your channel or in
Oh, right.
conjunction with other
Yeah,
people.
yes.
Yep.
I will. I am going live with Carrie, the Yarny Elephant, on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. and talking with her. And
Mm-hmm.
uh, during the summertime, you'll probably see me also on Carrie's channel on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And once I go back to school in the fall, you may not see me as much during the week.
Mm-hmm.
On Wednesday evenings with Dawn and hopefully soon Angel Renee, uh, we do our West Coast Wednesdays, and that's at 8 p.m. Pacific time. So
Mm-hmm.
I know that is late for some, but depending on where you are in the world, it could be the morning or it could be the
Mm-hmm.
nighttime.
That's right.
So hopefully you'll join us there, and we just kind of talk about the community on YouTube. We talk about the
Mhm.
projects that we're working on. We, just build each other up in a nice, safe environment. And
Yes.
so, anyway,
Perfect.
and then
Yeah, that's
also
beautiful.
when I can, I try to go on the After Dark with Purple Crochet and More with
Okay.
Dreamy. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I try to participate in that fun Friday night party when I'm available, and
Yes.
with Dawn and Dreamy. So
Okay. Very
yeah,
good. Well, yeah, thanks for sharing that. I just want to make sure everybody knows.
sure, sure.
And
I don't have a regular individual live time
mm,
slot yet, but maybe someday.
yeah.
I will do pop up lives when I can, and
Mhm.
I have my pop up live mascot for that.
Okay, let me see. Oh, the popcorn. That's right.
Yes, this is Orville Orville Puppy Popcorn, Colonel
Yes.
Orville Puppy Popcorn,
Hmm. There you go.
and so he's my pop up live mascot.
Hmm. Very cute.
Whoops. Yep.
Very nice. I love it.
Yep.
Now, is there anything else you want to share? Any of the makes? So I see your sweater in the back. It's beautiful. Yes,
Right, right. Over here,
that's
I
why I'm
have.
making it big. Yeah, that looks
Okay.
pretty.
This is a pineapple lace shawl that I made.
Hmm.
I like filet crochet a lot.
Yes, I see. Wow, it's pretty. That's very nice. Ooh.
What I like about it is it like really does wrap you up nicely. And then
Hmm.
under this shawl, I also, I do blankets. This one is
Hmm.
just kind of a Suzette stitch blanket. And
Okay.
I got my little
Yes.
my little Pablo taco.
Pablo.
He's another one of my mascots for my Talk About It
Yes.
Tuesdays with
Nice.
Pablo and Mara.
That's really cute.
And
Yes.
yep, I've made a couple of market bags. I'm just kind of
Yes.
going by what's within reach here.
Right. No, no, that's fine. But just to give people an idea what you've made.
This
Oh,
is
nice.
a pattern that Carrie the Yarny Elephant wrote, and so I
Mm-hmm.
tested it out for her. So it's kind of like a project or market bag
Beautiful.
with little handles.
Nice.
And somewhere over here, I've got a. I made a little. I think I still have to weave in the ends from it, but a little avocado motif,
I
micro motif.
see. Yes. Very healthy.
Yes, I like, and that is it's made with embroidery floss.
Oh, okay. Nice. I have some of that, which I was trying to decide what to do with. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's good.
Um, I
Yes.
picked up this book, and it's called 100 Micro Crochet
Ah,
Motifs.
okay.
And the
Nice.
funny thing is, I bought it for like one pattern,
Oh, I see the rainbow. Yes.
the rainbow.
Nice.
But then I was like, oh, but there's so many other things too that I could make. And
Yes.
so anyway, now I'm like, all right. And so then you can utilize these little motifs. So like obviously you can use they're intended to be used with regular thread. Let me show you like
Sure.
eventually I'll find it. Where
No,
maybe
take your time. I'm just going to say hi to Debbie. Debbie coming in. Thank you.
hello.
And Nana Michelle said she loves the pineapple.
Oh, the
Whose
shawl.
pattern? Oh, she wants to know whose pattern is that? Is
That
that
this is
your
a
own?
pattern by Lorinda Reddig, and
Okay.
she has thick stitches. It's not really in existence anymore. I'm trying to remember what she called her channel, but you can find her on Ravelry. So
Mm-hmm.
Lorinda is spelled Laurind, like David
Mm-hmm.
A, and
Mm-hmm.
Reddig, I believe it's her last name is spelled. Sorry, my hair is like wacky. Um,
Oh no, it's
R
fine.
Rettig.
Rettig. Okay.
Yeah. Now she and a friend of hers, her friend C. Jane Reed, kind of a kind of a play on words.
Yes.
Her first name is Carissa, but
Yes.
she goes by C, and then
Mm-hmm.
Jane, and her last name instead of it being spelled Read, it's Reid. But she's a
Okay.
writer, so
She's
that's
a
where
writer.
that kind of comes in. And she
Got it.
has written fiber fiction stories.
Oh my.
And
Okay.
Lorinda designs the patterns that go
Mm.
in the stories that
Yes.
Carissa wrote,
Oh,
and
okay.
so it's like a whole like a couple series. Oh, here we go. Here's like the picture. So it shows like Gutermann thread, just like
Yes.
sewing thread, and that's
Mm-hmm.
what these micro motifs can be made of. And so
Oh
they're like
my.
teeny tiny, where you have to use like a
Yeah.
0.25 millimeter hook
Wow.
for that. But anyway, yeah,
That
I
is
highly
hilarious.
recommend checking out
Yeah.
Lorinda. She's written a couple of books, and
Mm-hmm.
the books are like a compilation of the
Okay.
patterns that were from Carissa's books. And
Okay.
it's got like the Sojourn Stitch and the
Yes.
Secret Stitch, and it's historical fiction, and it
Mm-hmm.
includes crochet. So it's
Nice.
really, really neat. And
That's cool.
I love all the stories. If you're a reader, I highly recommend it. And I think the name of this might be called the Ailey shawl, and or
Mm-hmm.
like Ailey's wedding shawl, something like that. And
Mm-hmm.
that's where this is from. And it is
That's
made
very cute.
with
Yeah.
yarn. Like she sold it as a kit. Because she lives in Washington, she was at the first Oregon Flock and Fiber Festival that I attended,
Wow.
and she was selling the patterns and the kits from
Mm-hmm.
the book. And so then, of course, I had to buy the books. And then
Of course.
they did it where it was like a month or a quarterly crochet and
Mm.
book kit. Oh, I should just quickly even grab a nut. Well, no, it's fine. I'll talk about that like in one of my videos. Don't
Yes.
forget.
Yes.
I'll feature some more of that in
Yes.
another video. But yeah. Anyway, yeah,
Yeah.
I have quite a few of the patterns. I was part of the kit
Hmm.
club for a couple of years and
Hmm.
made.
Oh, so we got Gloria's here, Gloria Bowman. We have
Oh,
Paula's here, Paula Mulford.
hey
Good to
Paula,
see you.
thanks for coming in.
And we have Debbie. I don't know if it's Graybert. We'll see. Oh, okay. Oh, she said she can't find it. Oh, Nana Michelle can't find it.
Oh, she
Maybe I
can't
can.
find
No, we
Lorinda.
can we'll put it in the chat. I'll put it in the description, like afterward.
The like
I mean, yeah, in the video. I can put it the link.
Like Lorinda's
Lorinda.
information or something.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm thinking I could probably like if you wanted to talk, I could look at Ravelry real quick and see if I could
Sure.
find her on there. But yeah, she is a very talented designer, and
Hmm.
she taught. Well, I already had kind of known how to do some filet crochet, but at the
Hmm.
Oregon Flock and Fiber Festival several years ago, she was teaching a
Yep.
class, and I took one of her classes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and
Yep.
she taught it was a filet crochet class.
Now, how many people do they have in the classes? Are they smalls? Or are
They
they
do limit it. Some classes you can only have like 10 participants, and
okay?
other classes, will have a higher amount, or some might even be even smaller. But I think it depends on the designer or the expectation at a particular
Right.
fiber festival.
Yeah, that's cool.
Um,
I don't think I've ever taken a class in recent memory. It's been a long time. Yep.
yeah.
And do me a favor, just type hi in the chat, if you don't mind, and I'll make you a mod so you can drop the link.
Oh, okay.
I like Isalla's hand pink waving. I love that. I love how YouTube, that you can't, they don't show you the emoji, which is really funny. Okay, thank you. And I got you.
Yeah, her name didn't come up like that for me either, but let me see if I could just type Lorinda. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's Reddig. So sorry, people.
Oh no, that's okay. Oh, that's probably why she couldn't find it. So
Yeah, well, that's
you
because
can
I
copy
thought it
that.
was Rett,
Yes.
but it's Redd.
Okay. Oh yeah, that happens. So you're good.
Yeah, Reddit.
Yep. So
Red.
you can drop the link in there. Oh,
Yeah,
there's
let
Bonnie's
me
corner.
see.
Hello. Good to see you.
Save her in my favorites. How
Yep.
do I like copy? Oh wait, right there. Duh. Okay,
Yep.
got
How you
it.
doing, Bonnie? Welcome. Yep. So you're good. I put you in there. So that way you can, you can share that pattern. People will really love it. Um, I love
Well,
the
yeah.
pineapple.
Hopefully, I mean, I don't know if this one's on there, but at least it'll lead you down the path to
Yes,
finding her.
absolutely. Yep. Yeah, her name's very unusual. That's why I always go, yeah, let's see if we can find it. But if not, you can always do that.
Excellent. Oh, whoops. I was typing when
Hmm.
it did that, and so then it
Yep.
erased. I'll just go ahead and I'm just going to put her first name.
Sure, that's fine. And that way it's in there.
Anyway, super nice lady and
Yeah,
very
that's nice.
talented. One of her like cable designs was featured in a crochet magazine. I couldn't tell you which one off the top of my head, but
Hmm.
um, yeah. So there you go. I posted
Yep.
her
Oh, perfect.
how to find her on
Yep.
Ravelry.
Oh, that's good. Thank you so much. Yeah, that'll get, hopefully, Nana Michelle, that'll help you find her.
Right.
She was
Right.
having trouble finding
And
her.
then if you are interested in the novels that I was referring to, you
Hmm.
can they are on Amazon. I have seen them on Amazon. You can get Kindle versions of
Hmm.
them as well. And again, the author is first initial C,
Hmm.
Jane, and I think it's just Jane.
Hmm.
And then her last name is Reid, Reid. And she has individual books, but then she compiled them all together into a larger, like, series, like a thicker book that encompasses
Yes.
a few of the books in each one.
Okay.
The Secret Stitch and the Sojourn Stitch.
Okay. Beautiful. See, that's nice. Yeah. 'Cause that's something I haven't done. You know what I mean? Yeah, that'll be new for me. So that's great.
Yes.
So, all right. So anything else? And then I guess we can end it. And anyway, so once again, thank you, Maura, Mindfully Crochet.
And thank you.
And for your time and for sharing, your journey and what you're doing with crochet. And make sure if you don't have her, her link's been in the chat like a million times, so
Yeah,
hopefully you can find it. Yep.
somewhere.
It's been in there a few times.
Scroll up,
um
scroll up.
yeah, a few times, so you can scroll a little bit. And I don't know, I guess that's really it. Anyway, happy Sunday, you guys. Peace and blessings. And I really appreciate the support of everyone that has come in. Yep, that's come into the chat, because
Thanks to all
like,
my friends that
yes.
may have come in to watch, and anybody
Yes.
who catches this again. Like, if you
Hmm.
decide, oh hey, I didn't see that. I hope if you've made it all the way through and you've been
Yes,
watching on replay, thanks so much.
we really
And
appreciate
thanks
it.
for
Yes.
supporting Kelly too.
Yes.
Please continue to support Kelly,
Yep.
because she is a shining light in this fiber community, and I really
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
getting to know
Thank
her
you.
very much.
Yes. So take care. We'll see you around. Well, I always like to say, I'll see you later. See you all later. I don't want to say goodbye. We'll see you
That's
later.
right. Take care
Yes.
and be
All right. Well,
kind.
thank you. Thank you all. We'll see you soon. Mhm.
Bye.